CarpeDM. Welcome.
That's perfect. You know when you say CarpeDM welcome, I started it and they heard you. That was perfectly
Nice.
done. Nicely done, gents.
Beautiful. Nailed it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CarpeDM and our Saturday campaign, The Road to Elturel. I am your Dungeon Master, Sir Jenks. These are our lovely adventurers. Wave hello, lovely adventurers.
Hi, lovely DM.
Hello.
Hey, I don't know why I'm stealing like a Dimension 20's bit now, but it's fun. It's fine. When last we left our party, our rogue Snipe had been separated into pieces by way of a magical ritual that none of the party really understood what was going on. They put a thing into a thing, opened a portal to the abyss. Snipe got ripped into two separate pieces. One of them got sucked off into the abyss. And ever since then, our good old Snipe has been slowly dying. And the party has been looking for a way to rectify that issue. Snipe thought that the solution might have been with Lord Artaxis, a mysterious demon and self-proclaimed lordling of the abyss, who offered Snipe a way out in the form of a enchanted cloak pin. Snipe agreed to help Artaxis get a hold of their demonic half in exchange for the cloak pin and doing a bit of dirty work for them in the Reaching Wood against some raiders. However, instead of actually doing that, the party just headed north to meet up with Seymour and Kaya. Seymour and Kaya, our warlock and our bard, have been off on their own little side adventure away from the rest of the party. Having been pulled through some magical tunnels by some hag magic, they ended up separated from everybody else, and in the process helped to defeat a cult, and also made friends with a celestial warlock by the name of City. City offered to help them with their rogue's problem by offering them two choices. Either help capture the demonic half and leave it up to them to figure out how to bind the demonic half back to Snipe, or to reincarnate Snipe, hopefully severing the ties with the demonic half and solving the death curse problem. Most recently, the two halves of our party met again for the first time in what in-game was like 3 or 4 days. What out-of-game was 3 solid months of not being together. The party came back together and met on the road between Skirnabel, the city of caravans, and Triel, a small farming town in the nation of Elturel. So when they met up shortly afterward, they were all subject to a raid. All of our characters are currently marked with the mark of the hunt, which means that the raiders were able to scent their hunter's marks on the wind. Tried to catch up with them, was unable to thanks to some quick magic from Kaya, which shielded the party from the hunter's scenting abilities. And they managed to pack up all of their herbs, pack up all their stuff. A barn was burned down. Everything's fine. The party's back together, and they're headed north to Trio in order to finally, hopefully, cure Snipe of their problem one way or another. Now, where we pick up with our party, you all have stopped off for your second night of rest. By tomorrow evening, you all should have returned to Triel, or you should be able to make it there. But you decided to take the extra time to find a really good hiding spot. As the sun began to fade in the western sky, you began to hear those whooping, echoing calls that you have come to associate with the hyenas and the hunters, the berserkers of the wood. And so as Kaya puts up the eponymous dome around you all to protect you for the evening, you all begin to settle in, make camp, and keep an eye out for those now somewhat familiar lights on the horizon, which indicate that raiders may be nearby. Now, you all have a lot of talking that you want to do to one another. I will leave it up to you. Who wants to talk first? Last time we left our party, there was a beautiful song that was sung by Reina. It was great. It was excellent. Applause all around. It felt like there was a moment of unity as Kaya joined in on her instrument, and there was like a moment of peace. But there was also some tension going on, particularly between Seymour and Snipe. But also Seymour seemed put down by a lot of things that have been going on with him recently.
He's had a rough time, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of talking to be had. Is anyone interested in talking? Kaya's interested in talking. Kaya, who do you want to talk to?
I would say before Kaya sets up the dome and people are getting ready to make camp for the night, Kaya would have pulled Snipe aside to talk to them. Sure. And they would have kind of like pulled them aside a little bit further away from the group, and she would have just said, hey, listen, I know you've kind of had a rough time these last couple of days with the whole dying thing, and I know it must not have been very easy for you, but I want you to remember that these last couple of days, me and Seymour have been going around trying to help you, trying to figure out a way to save you. And we've nearly lost our lives. We've been subjected to a lot of shit over the last couple of days, and we did it for you, to find a way to help you. And I'm not expecting you to be particularly thankful or grateful necessarily. I don't need that from you, but you know, I would just ask of you to maybe lay off of Seymour for a bit, all right? We've had a rough couple of days, and I just want you to remember that it would be nice for you to at least treat us as your friends and not your enemies, because we're here to help. We don't have to be. We want to be.
Yeah, fine. I kind of snapped a bit. It's not been a good few days, as you can probably tell. I just kind of pull back my hood and show how far like the withering is like taken over my body.
How did that happen? Where's your ring? Was that helping you?
Ran into some trouble on the road.
All right, we're gonna fix this. Okay, it's gonna be all right. Just let's remember that we're all friends here.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Great. Kai will pat Snipe on the back and then go back to making the hut.
Huh.
Did you do it away from Seymour, Kaya?
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, Snipe, as far as your current issues go, the Wither has not progressed much farther. However, there isn't a lot left to wither at this point. I believe, if I am keeping tabs correctly, you are currently down to 17 of your hit points?
Yeah.
If it's been one day traveling, then yeah, at this point it'd be 17.
That's awesome.
Yes. So, yeah, it has pretty much completely desiccated your right arm, going all the way up. Your right leg has pretty much been completely desiccated by this. Really all of your outer extremities. And you can tell at this point, it's fairly obvious whenever you look at how it's progressing, that it's going to end on your heart if you let it. And that's going to be the last thing to give out.
Yeah, Snipe just like takes it all in, just like tries to track how long it's actually going to be, and just like mulling over what on earth is going to occur when we get to Trail, and if it is going to work at all. So yeah, Snipe's just kind of keeping quiet and just milling about in the background.
Sure. If you'd like to take a minute to do this, I will let you make a medicine check, and Snipe can figure out about how long they have left.
So cool.
Sorry. 13.
13? Little over 10 days. Not quite 20.
That's like a year in the game, guys. We're
Less than a
fine.
month.
That's a year worth of gameplay. We're fine.
You suspect that whatever it is you choose to do in Triel to try to fix this, it's probably going to be, if not the last chance, then the second to last chance that you have to do something about this before there's just no recourse. But Snipe, you are choosing to mull some stuff over at the edges of camp, thinking about what Kaya just spoke with you about, and I'm sure several other things that you probably want to say to people or just consider. Which brings us to the others in camp. Seymour is currently situated by a fire, just sort of poking at it, waiting for an opportunity, perhaps, to say some words with people.
Yeah, he's just going to be listening out right now. Oh, God, Becca, no.
Oh, no, Becca.
And where's Hattie in this situation, DM?
Hattie is just trying to find a new companion, turning over every rock, looking at every carapace, trying to find that perfect beetle that she just can't replace in her life, doing the best that she can.
Amazing.
But also realistically, Arthur is kind of milling about, and Hattie's kind of keeping tabs on Arthur right now as he kind of like bounces around the arena around the campsite. But also there is Reyna and there is Hailra. Now, Hailra, you have been keeping an eye on things. Not that you haven't always, but particularly for the last day or so, ever since the encounter with the hyenas on the road and the spider question that was left unanswered. What are you thinking? What are you doing, Hailra?
Well, Helra's just at so she's sitting a bit away from the campfire and just trying to think. So she's got a few questions running through her head. Like, I need to know the truth. What's going on? I don't trust it. Just the same things playing over and over, because to her, anything to do with spiders is never good.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just mulling over questions in her mind. But she's like, as she's doing it, she's occasionally, well, obviously glancing at Reyna as she's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be thinking a question, glancing over to Reyna to see what she's doing, then looking back at the fire, and then looking back at Reyna to see if anything else if she's doing anything while she's not looking.
What is Reyna doing right now?
Reyna is very carefully setting up everything in camp, kind of caught up in her own mind, and just trying to set up the bed rolls and set up the fire and make sure we have food. And then eventually she'll kind of be, after she almost finished everything, she'll kind of be looking around at everyone and doesn't see Snipe, and she'll be trying to see if she can find Snipe.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Where is it again? That's 15.
15. Okay. Now, Reyna usually keeps, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine that she usually keeps the Argent spider tucked inside of her robes. She doesn't usually have it out.
Mm-hmm.
So Reyna, you notice two things as you look around the campfire. Actually, I don't know if you guys make a campfire. As you look around the camp.
Marina did make a campfire.
Okay, so across the campfire then, you see two things. Off on the edges of the dome, kind of tucked into the shadows, up against like an embankment of rocks, you see Snipe just kind of sitting quietly with themselves, just kind of with a very pensive look about them. And directly across the fire from you, you catch the glances of Hailra. You don't necessarily make eye contact with her, but as you look for Snipe, it's hard for you to not notice that she, every so often, just sort of glances your way across the fire.
Mm-hmm. Upon
That's what you
noticing
notice.
this, she'll look her around the eyes. Just kind of gently smiles and nods, and then bends her head towards Snipe and walks towards Snipe.
Snipe, Reyna approaches you from around the fire, and Reyna just sort of skirts around you as she makes her way past over towards Snipe, after giving you a pleasant, if somewhat tight smile.
Hey.
Hi.
How's everything going? Great
Just
question.
kind of show the majority of my body and just say, not too good. I don't expect anything going well anytime soon, though, so...
Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day, or the day after. I've been thinking a bit. I don't know how the resurrection spell will go. Oh.
I know probably even less than you.
And I don't know how it will go and how everything will turn out. And I'm just curious if there's something you want me to hold on to. Well, we're undergoing this whole thing. If there's something you want me to remember or to hold on to till you come back, if you may forget it or something else. Because I don't know if you'll come back with everything you have right now.
Snap just kind of thinks for a bit and like just kind of, they don't really put in as much effort into their movements, like they're just sitting as still as possible, not really putting much strength into. They kind of lazily open their pouch where all their amulets are, or where all like the majority of their possessions are, and then they don't really, I don't know, they don't really hide it, but they don't really fully show it, but they kind of pull out the Polaroid that's been hidden in their pocket for a while, and they just hold it for a sec. And then Snipe just kind of says, in terms of advice, I'd say I'm kind of scared for you, Reyna, because from what you've told me, you're going very, very far into some very dark paths just to get some personal questions. And I salute you for being as brave enough to do that, but I think from what you can tell of all the fuckers we've been running into, we're diving into some pretty unforgiving territories. So just know what you're doing and know when you're being used. Know when your goals don't become yours anymore. Just be aware of that.
I will. I will remember those words. I don't want to drag anyone with me. It's something that I must do myself, and I don't want anyone to come with me. If it happens, I'll feel more bad than I would if nothing happens.
good on you for trying to do it alone. Don't be scared to reach out for help, though, because sometimes if you're becoming something that's not really yourself, the only times you really know that is when someone else who you know very well points that out.
I know there will be many laughs.
As Raina and Snipe, you share this moment of quiet reflection. Not to put anything on Snipe. Do you all shake hands at all?
Slightly, yeah. Only
Okay.
when Snipe chooses to.
Sure. As you have this conversation, Snipe, you kind of unconsciously rub the mark on your left hand where you reached for the Argent spider. It bit you. The fang marks you can still see in your hand. It's dangerous, what Raina is proposing, but the path that she's choosing to walk. And you suspect that the person that is guiding her on that path is willing to do a lot to make sure that she gets what she wants. Elsewhere in camp, Hattie is chasing Arthur around. And Seymour, what are you up to?
How many days have passed since the thing?
It's been one day since you have all escaped from the raiders. Basically, you took off and you'd made it as far as you could before setting up camp again. And you've passed this place before, Seymour. This is not too far from where you and Kaya ran into the first burned out farmhouse. It's a little further ways up the road, but you know that you can get back to Triel about a day's ride from here.
That's fine.
So you should be back by tomorrow evening.
So I don't know. I think right now, Seymour throughout that journey would have been kind of just disconnected a fair bit. At this point right now, and you can tell me if I can do this, Sir Janks, but like in front of the fire, he hasn't got control flames, right? But I don't know if I can position this. But I just wanted to like, I wanted to do some flavor where he's like trying to shape a little bit of the flames into the last thing he saw in the scrying scene before his mother fell down. Ooh. And just and if I can't do it, it's fine. He can just imagine it, and that's what he'll be picturing at least in the fire. It's totally cool if not.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh shit.
DC 20.
DC 20.
Yep.
I got +2 to my Arcana. Let's go. I've
officially made this. This is the thing whenever you want to do like something weird
totally
with your magic. I'm like, that sounds cool. DC 20.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, I didn't make it, unfortunately.
All right. So, Seymour, you try to shape the fire in front of you into that last fleeting glimpse that you saw of your family.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment in the flames, you can get the image of your sisters playing in the farmyard, but you can't quite focus in the features of your mother.
I get it. That's cool. So I think he'd just be in a lot of deep thought. I think he would have helped Raina set the campfire up a tiny bit. But just a lot of contemplation going on. right now, figuring out what's going on. I think he'd try and wait for an opportunity to speak to Kaya. But he's not going to force that moment to happen right now. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Seymour's milling by the fire. Not far from Hailra, who is also milling at the fireside.
Finibus
A
is next to me.
slight tension in the air. Yes, and Finibus is also here.
I'm petting him, doing the whole like, what's the word? Therapeutic pet for myself.
Yeah.
As we're setting up camp, Raina would have probably kind of looked at Seymour and be like, "Have you practiced your Elfish? Or because we've been working on it for a bit."
I don't. It's been a while. We didn't really have that much chance to actually spend time on this.
Seymour, roll me an intelligence check.
Yep. Not. Oh, it's not that bad. 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit down with Raina, I will let you continue on with this lovely interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of what you know, you can write Elvish. You can write Elvish script.
Fuck me. All right, I'm a fast learner. Cool.
Yeah. You can write an alphabet. Not quite words, but you at least know the alphabet.
Yeah, that's fair. As Rainy does say that, he just go, huh? You might like this, and he's gonna reach into his bag because he has a bag somewhere, and he's gonna pull out the Elvis to Draconic translation book,
Ooh.
and he's gonna pass it over to you, and he's go, I can't read shit of that, but I'm learning. I recognize the letters, but then it's Draconic, and then I get lost, and yeah. But this is what I've been trying at least to understand. But might help you a lot easier. Maybe you can learn it, and then you can teach me both. Two birds, one stone.
You see, as the book is closed right now, it's a very eager look in her eyes to like go in and read it. And she'll kind of put her hands on top of it and quickly open it and go through a few pages, and then recognize a few words and be like, okay, this could be very handy. I think this can come in very handy when we teach you Elvish. I think that's going to be, because then you can visualize the words without me writing them down. You know, they're on the page already. So you don't need to see the Draconic part, you can just see the Elvish part.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
You can keep it. You can keep it for now.
Okay, that's fine. Hey. Question. Why did you cast a spell when we were arguing?
Because I've been waiting to get back together, and I did not like how it went.
No, neither did I. But you can't, especially when it comes to your own party. If people need to be angry, let them be angry. Let them talk it out. Don't rely on magic to solve issues.
It was not necessarily for solving issues. It was just to, I could read the situation. It felt like no one was going to talk. So
that's what we're good at, not talking.
that's true.
Imagine the shit we'd get done if we spoke. We'd be in Elturel, probably.
Would we?
Probably, if I'm honest.
I don't think so.
How have you been doing?
It's pretty hectic, to be honest. Trying to be focused on how Snipe's doing. Trying to make sure they're okay. Hattie's okay. Hattie doesn't. Also make sure Hattie doesn't wander off.
he's gonna
doing right now.
he's gonna like put his hand up to interrupt you and go, "No, Raina, how are you doing?" Engine in the background, but fine. You're talking about other people, not yourself. How are you doing?
Good question.
You need to think about that. Sometimes we try to solve other people's problems so we don't look at our own. It's what we do. It's what carers do. It's what my mother used to do. She'd think about me, think about my sisters. I'd scrape her knee. I'd scrape my sister's knees by pushing them over sometimes. It's fine. But my mother would always put everyone else first. And that's not always good. Admirable, but not good.
Your mother sounds like a lovely woman.
She is. It's what we gotta do. You know? Sacrifice. Sometimes thinking about yourself, being selfish, is the healthiest thing someone can do. But it seems like you've got a new look going on. It's wonderful. It suits you.
It's the clothes I used to travel with whenever I went on the road. It's a bit more disguised, and people don't really recognize you as a noble family member.
Pressure.
Yeah, there's some sort of standard you have to uphold.
Standards are put on us no matter what. The worst standards are when we put them on ourselves, because we never really aspire to our own standards. It's one of those fucked up things about the human brain. Humanoid brain, I should say, really, not human.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about. If you continue reading that book, you might pick up some few words. If we have some time after the whole thing with Snipe is done, I will happily read it with you.
But what is the plan after Snipe? Are we going back down to Elturel?
We're going back on the Infinity Roads, I believe. Seems to never ends.
Where is that, DM? I don't know if my brain just went, yeah, don't know that bit.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, that's just me making up something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Raina was just making a comment on how the road never ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But I don't know if Seymour knows about like the other things they have to do. I can't remember. I don't think it's been told to Seymour right now, right?
Which things?
No.
You know how
Which of the many?
You know
there are many things that have occurred.
Yanogu, I believe, is the one what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no. So you haven't been told. It hasn't been discussed about like the deal that Snipe made with Artaxis. That hasn't been like openly discussed. I think maybe Kaya mentioned some stuff in passing to you, but she didn't know the full extent of it either.
I think it's
she
a little
just knew
bit
that they like talked with Artaxis.
It was like a little bit after sending, I believe. Like the sending spell happened, and Kaya referred back to Seymour about a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I believe you made a history check if you knew Artaxis or Ardius. If you knew something about the elf in the forest.
Yeah. In the sending, Snipe would have told Kaya at least Artaxis is somebody that we met in the Misty Forest and that we kind of glanced in the Lonely Tower.
I think I spoke to Tenebris about it, actually.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Mm.
Yeah. So there has been a mention, but no mention about a deal, I believe.
No. Snipe's keeping that quiet because Raina's there with the pin. So Snipe's not really been opening to talk about it since they met up. So Snipe's just been quiet this whole time.
Yeah. So yeah, Seymour, you don't know about the deal. You do know about Artaxis. Tenebris did have some comments about whenever you've met in the forest. And you don't you don't actually know about the whole thing with like them
Okay.
being told that they should go in and deal with raiders in the forest.
But I literally just know that Artaxis is a thing at least, and
Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
it's a moving part in the chess set.
What do you mention? Yeah, because he wants to know what's the next plan, so he would ask something about that at least. Yeah. Kaya mentions something about Artaxis, and you were involved or something. What does a? I don't know.
Do you remember who Artaxis is?
I do. Funnily enough, because I do. Yay. Yeah. One of the elves. You know when I just change into an elf and then realize I don't speak Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And funny, when you don't speak, you only listen. And I paid attention a fair bit, I guess. But he seemed okay to me when I saw him. My insight's not that good, really, though. I'm a very bad judge of character.
A little growl goes up from Finibris next to you.
I did roll a natural 20, but I'm still sticking with I don't have a clue.
Well, damn, you also don't remember that part.
Complicated.
I wanna tell you everything, but it's so much.
Understandable.
Whenever you fell off the horse, we only figured out that you fell off the horse because we stopped. Because Kaya wanted to draw some tarot cards.
I
and
heard.
the tarot cards showed two images. Well, one fell out and one was drawn. And one card had an imagery of Kaya standing next to Snipe in front of a tavern called the Bloodied Oak. And that's back in Scornabel. Yeah. And back in the Lonely Tower, Snipe saw an imagery of an elven man sitting on a table. And those two images and stories linked together led us to Artaxis. Artaxis is one of the solutions to the Snipe problem.
Well, fuck him. We got our own solution.
Yeah, that's when we got the information from you guys.
Me and Kaya worked very hard, and for it to just be going, oh no, we're fine now, don't worry about it, doesn't sit right with me.
I don't trust him. I don't want to make the Snipe said yes, but
I mean, I say yes to many things, and it's fine, but we have a different way out.
I think that even though Snipe said yes, there's another way.
Did you shake hands? Did you sign anything?
No, there was no contract.
Okay.
Nothing down on paper. That's why I think it's still that Snipe is still able to avoid it.
I know a thing or two about contracts, kind of. Experience.
Yeah.
As long as nothing's written down.
You don't seem like a person with contracts. In the real world, though. Like in the material plane.
I don't know. Sometimes it's appear out of nowhere, I guess.
You really gotta tell me more about that stuff.
In time, maybe.
If you feel free to do.
We need to figure out what to do after Snipe. Because I don't know. I don't know. And he's going to start trying to conjure his mother's image again in the flames.
The evening wears on. In the moments before you all... Oh.
I get that little... I have like a panic now from being the DM of Neela. Like every time that goes, I'm like, oh, here we go.
After the talk with Snipe, Kai would have gone back to the campfire and sat down next to Seymour.
Sure.
And I don't know where exactly that would have been his conversation with Raina, but Kai would have just sat down and looked at Seymour and said, "You alright?"
Seymour's gonna like be staring in the fire, but then like shake his head, and look at you, and he's gonna stand up and go, "Can we go for a walk?"
Kaya, like in the middle of casting her, drops the spell and goes, "Fine."
Sorry.
It's
I know
fine.
that can. You got plenty to
Hattie's
spare.
not even in the circle yet anyway, so.
Hattie!
No.
Let's go, Hattie!
Speak of the devils.
The panic in Becca's eyes.
And you set up.
Hattie is in the fire, cooking.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Hattie is chasing Arthur.
I don't remember where everyone's position was, but it's fine. I'll keep it like this. It's fine.
Okay, so Hattie has been basically chasing after Arthur and also keeping an eye out. This entire time while the camp has been setting up, while you guys have been having these conversations, these whooping noises, these like ghostly echoing whooping noises have been continuing to sort of echo out through the night. So it kind of becomes old hat for you guys, but Hattie, while chasing Arthur, has also been keeping an eye on the forest for any lights that might be coming your way, which Hattie hasn't seen up until this point. But Kaya, Seymour asked you to go for a walk. And there's plenty of shaded, tree-lined areas, not near the forest, but you guys camped on the other side of the road as far as possible as you could. But there are definitely like some more private areas where you guys could have a conversation that's not quite as privy to everyone else.
He's gonna have Finn walk with him, so that Finn can keep an eye out because he's better at looking out than me.
Sure.
And yeah, Seymour's gonna just
Hattie running around in the distance.
Seymour's gonna he's not gonna have eye contact throughout most of this. I don't think it's gonna be like looking ahead, and slightly up actually.
Okay.
Kaya.
What's up?
I don't know what to do once Snipe is fixed.
Well, we had a plan before the whole Snipe situation. I would assume we go back to that plan now.
What was the plan exactly?
Go to Elturel, figure out if there's any legitimacy to the prophecy we heard, I guess. Warn someone, and then head to Baldur's Gate. Or did you have something else in mind?
I don't know. I've just been thinking about priorities. And how many days has it been since we've been sorting Snipe out? 3 days? Feels like it's been longer.
How many days since the ignore the ambulance?
Oh no, Snipe! It's
I don't know,
over.
but death is coming.
The raiders are here. Watch out.
Death is
The
coming.
Dragon Spear Castle. Since Dragon Spear Castle.
My max HP is 36, and it's 17 now. So however many amount of days it's been from.
That's 19 days.
19.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Almost
weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Mm.
And pretty much the past at least 10 day, we've been focusing on Snipe, which is fine. But we're dying. It's a priority. And it was in that moment, surrounded by flames and me thinking I can do something to help others, and couldn't. I could, but wasn't needed. And obviously Snipe snapped at me, and, well, you know, who can blame them for what we're going through? It was the moment Raina sang. Priorities just instantly shifted for me. I want Snipe to get better, but if I'm scaling it with my mother, making sure I'm doing things for my mother's safety, it pales in comparison. And I forgot that.
Isn't that what you're doing? I don't understand. I thought the deal was you stay away from her. She continues to be alive. Like, what more do you have to do?
I have things to do in Elturel. And
great, that's where we're heading.
That's great, yes, of course, but I don't know.
Seymour, I don't understand. What are you implying here? Nothing has changed. We're still heading to Elturel in one way or another. Sure, we're taking a detour, but what's new? We'll get there eventually. And after this whole Snipe business, that's exactly what we're gonna do, right? So I don't understand what you're suddenly so worried about.
I don't know. When I worked on my own, it was just less complicated, streamlined. Complicated, but at least it was me.
Oh, so that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Seymour, you know, with the whole fire thing that happened back there, and why do you need to always feel useful in these situations? Like, it's okay to not do something once or twice. That's why we travel in a group. That's why it's better to travel in a group than to travel alone, because we got your back. And when something happens and you're on a bridge catatonic with a war going around you, or suddenly unable to talk for 2 days, you have people here who help you. That's the point. And that goes both ways. Where do you think I would be if I wasn't with a group? I would be dead by goblins or turned to stone in some field. That's the point of traveling together. There's no real benefit in traveling alone.
Maybe you're right. I'm just not sure. It's just a lot of thought. And I don't know. I'm not sure what my priorities are. I don't know if the solution is to just go off my own, prioritize my own goals. I don't know.
Think about this logically, Seymour, all right? What really is the benefit you get from traveling alone?
But logic doesn't always come into play.
So what, is it then your ego? Are you so worried of not being useful that you can't handle being in a group with other people?
Possibly.
That's ridiculous, all right? We've done a lot together. There's no reason for you to just get up and leave in the middle of the night. That's prime asshole behavior.
No one asked if I was okay. No one. They hugged you. I picked Raina up because no one else was going to. The first thing Snipe said to me was, do something useful. How's that friendship? They haven't seen me. Imagine if you didn't find me. Imagine if I died. Would they have cared? They left you to come find me, and I appreciate you, Kaya. But nothing. under certain circumstances, of course, but no nod, no pat on the back, no sense of camaraderie at all. It's not ego, it's connection. Me and you're like my best friend. You really are. One of my only friends. Jesus. Who's Jesus? I don't know. Anyway. What's the equivalent of Jesus, DM?
Gods.
Gods.
You just say gods.
Okay, gods. Shit. It was... I don't know. It was just that moment where I just thought to myself, am I really part of a team? Do they really care about me? You do. There's no doubt about that. I care about you just as much, if not more. About 12, 18 seconds. There was just so much information. And I don't know. It's not about being useful, but being a part of something. It just didn't feel like I was part of it anymore.
All right.
I'm getting warm. Love you guys.
Knife. I've been traveling for a while, probably around as long as you have, maybe longer, I don't know. And I've been in plenty of groups with plenty of people who I didn't know, or who didn't know me, or who I didn't like. Hell, I'm in a group right now with people I don't like. But
it's very mean, Kaya, to me. You didn't have to let me down like that. A little tear comes down.
Already is 5,000 broken
Sorry.
You know I don't need you, all right? You're actually one of the few people I do genuinely like. But you know, the last time that I was in a group of people in which I trusted every single one of them, my soul was sold to a devil. And half of them died in a fire, so I'm just surprised at all that you want to trust these people. Oh, I get it, Seymour, but we're stronger in a group. That's what's important. And you said you like my company at least, so the one thing I would ask of you is just don't leave. At least don't leave without telling me. Hell, I wouldn't be against us leaving if we have to, if it comes to that. But I just don't know if I can take it to wake up in the middle of the night and have friends disappear again.
I won't do that to you. You're worth something. Just whatever I decide, just respect it. That's all I ask.
All right.
I love you, Kaya. And he's going to give you a hug and a kiss on the forehead. And then he's going to walk away. Wait, he's going to make sure Finn's with you so you don't get eaten while we're leaving the camp. Yeah.
Friendship is magic.
That's fun. Me and Raina got the RP. What the fuck?
Amazing. I love it. Beautiful. So
What did you do, Dave?
Sorry, James. I just hit my tooth on my fucking cup. In my head, I was like, nailed it.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah, perfect ending to that entire
yeah. So you have this. You two have this sort of stroll around the edge of the camp. This conversation. Seymour goes to leave. Kaya finishes setting up the dome, presumably.
She'll wait until everyone's there, obviously, but
Okay.
she'll actually, after Seymour leaves, she will take a couple of seconds there in the forest to just kind of like take a couple of deep breaths, and she'll look at Finibris and be like, I still don't trust you. And then she's gonna walk back and set up the zone.
Yeah, Finibris will just like slink after you, like nonchalantly. Excellent. So everything is set up. The dome is set up. It's time for everyone to actually get some rest on this long rest, and yeah, as everyone kind of settles down and like guard duties are assigned and everything, Hera, you see what may be your best opportunity to speak with Reyna. Catching her on guard duty, or catching her for a conversation right before everyone goes off to bed. This is probably going to be your best moment to try to catch her.
Yeah. I was going to say, while Seymour and Kaya were off talking, I would have cast Find Steed again.
Okay.
And instead of a horse this time, my Find Steed is a lion.
Does Seymour see this?
Yeah, everybody sees this.
He'd fire an Eldritch Blast at a lion. Like, for real. We've been dealing with werewolves.
Well,
it's a fucking lion appearing nowhere.
So what everyone sees is you see Hera go through this whole process, draw out the whole magic circle, like kneel in the middle of it, and then like at the end of it, there's a big old glow, and then a lion just comes rising up out of the ground. And
I knew you couldn't be trusted. No. If it takes a ritual, it's fine. If it does appear out of nowhere, then he'd be fucking gone. He'd be thrown
Yeah,
around.
no, it's a 10-minute ritual.
Oh,
it's a 10-minute.
Janks, sorry. Question.
Yeah.
What level am I at regarding the bite? So I'm at level 2 right now. So I'm actually
level 2.
I'm still paranoid, right?
You're paranoid of the forest. So you are specifically skittish of things that would hunt you. So
a lion.
So what that well, mechanically what that means is the berserkers and the hyenas they live in the forest.
Okay.
You have advantage against them.
Don't
But yeah, it's still fucking startling, right? For a lion to just appear.
I'll shoot one Eldritch Blast.
Okay. That's fine.
Just have a and that's
Where does
it.
the other one go?
The lion can handle it. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
It just actually roll a hit. Let's see if you even hit the lion.
A panic Eldritch Blast.
Hey yo, a large beast appearing. It's scary, guys. 17.
17.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So like, as this lion appears, Seymour like startled, like it's like what's those things? It's like a porcupine like getting startled and just like shooting a quill. It's just like
My natural defense.
Yeah. Or like an octopus just like shooting ink, just like Eldritch Blast.
No,
I'm
God.
startled.
That's great imagery.
I need the damage, please.
Sure. It's only D10.
I mean, the lion's going to be fine.
The lion's fine. Yeah, the lion's good.
I just want to mark it down on my character sheet because I can.
6.
Okay.
Okay.
That's just like, what's going on in Seymour's head? Because he's seen Hell cast this, so he's just thinking, okay, if this is a ploy to take us down, you're doing it very brave to just do it right in front of us.
Someone I've only met for about an hour where we didn't speak.
It's true.
Who is summoning something? When we've summoned stuff before and it doesn't end well, usually. Yeah.
Oh no, okay.
Usually.
And he's paranoid.
Wait, you've seen me summon do this circle before, but it was a horse.
Yeah.
The exact
So
same circle.
so his head he goes, oh, it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
This is a delightful
whole-
dilemma
that's
for
the
you
whole
guys to find
shit.
yourself in, but Hailra, time is ticking away for you to be able to talk with Reyna in an effective way.
Sorry for
Well,
railroading.
this was while they were talking, so it's not while
Yeah.
the camp was up. But
Yeah, I get
so
you.
when
I get you. You're good.
so when the dome comes up, because I know that me and Reyna only need 4 hours, not the full 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Reyna and just say, Reyna, we need to talk somewhere out of earshot of the others.
Lead the way.
So she leads Reyna further away from the camp, but still within like distance, like looking distance, but not enough where anything might affect the camp.
As they're walking away, Reyna is scanning the horizon to see if they see any lights nearby, just to be sure.
Simon says
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Sorry.
What did you say, Dave?
Simon says sorry.
Sorry.
Calling out to Hailra
Yeah.
for shooting.
I say sorry to the lion.
Oh yeah, my lion's on patrol as well because they have really good perception with smell.
Ah, okay, excellent. Sweet, sweet.
Could be dangerous, but sure, let's go for it. 22.
22. You hear the calls, and you think that on the horizon you see a couple like pinpoints of light kind of moving along the edge of the forest. None of them seem to be moving out from the forest. You just kind of see them moving along the edges of it.
Yeah. Reyna's
Um,
just expectantly looking at Hera.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
once they're a little they're away from the camp, so no one can really hear them. I was just gonna sigh and just. I have a few questions I need to ask you. Otherwise, this will be on my mind the entire journey.
Great.
I just want to know who exactly is your deity or your cleric or patron?
Corellian. Right.
Okay. Because I do notice that you are no longer wearing the symbols of Corellian as you did when I first met you. What you did in the Temple of Eldath back in Southbridge made me think maybe you were a cleric of Eldath. But then your spirit guardians were spiders, and Corellian has a history with Lolth, the queen of spiders. And I am just query as to why your spirit guardians would be spiders, especially since when it happened, Hattie asked you. Well, Hattie said that your spirit guardians used to be something else, used to be fireflies, and then became spiders. Is there something you're not telling us?
Am I obligated to tell anyone? I don't feel like I'm obligated to tell anyone about what I'm doing. I choose to tell someone what I'm doing. I'm sure you have things you don't tell us. You joined this party 4 days ago? 5 days ago? Maybe longer.
There are things that haven't come up in conversation, but nothing I am purposely hiding. I do want to know, though, why are your spirit guardians spiders if you are a cleric of Corellian?
Because I choose what they are.
Okay. Helra is so Helra's not really happy with the answers she's getting. It's more like so she looks at Reyna. I'll ask you one more time. I don't want you to avoid the subject. And I want to know the truth. Why do you have spiders as your guardians, should I say?
Reina's just gonna stare at you, not answer.
Helra, at first, Helra's going to say, she's actually going to say it in Undercommon just to see if Reina gives a reaction. Are you truly a cleric of Corellian in Undercommon?
She listens.
Does Reina give any sort of reaction that she understands, or?
She just keeps staring at you.
Okay. Helra is going to cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
I need a charisma saving throw.
Charisma? Okay. It's a charm effect, isn't it?
No, it's not. It doesn't say it's charmed effect. I looked it up. It's not a charm effect. And Helra is purposely not letting you within her aura.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good thing is you don't have to say anything, so it's fine. If you just stay silent, you're fine.
8.
Okay, well, you failed, and you know you're in the spell.
We're about to kill a bitch.
Already.
Oh god. We did think at the beginning, it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's why I said at the beginning, but the spell does say an affected creature is aware of the spell and thus avoid answering questions. Such a creature can be evasive as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So Reina does have to answer.
Yeah, they can choose. If I can remember right, we can choose to not speak though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like pleading the fifth, right? Like if she doesn't answer, it's still incredibly suspicious.
Yeah.
But like, you know that she can't outright lie to you here. She's just going to try to evade your question. Whether that is not speaking or whether that's just talking around the truth, you're still going to get a sense of the answers that you're looking for. So go ahead.
Weird question. Can I also say things that are the truth, but that aren't related to the question?
So as long as it is not a lie, you can say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to say, so if she asks you a question and you just want to state things that are true, yes, that could be a way to evade the answer by just stating things that are true. Yeah, you could do that. I'd allow that.
Okay. Do you have any connection to Lolth?
She takes a step forward towards you. And she says, "Why do you care?"
Who?
I saw this on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Is the question.
I care because I've escaped Lolth before. And I don't want anything to bring that connection back. And if you follow Lolth, I can never trust you.
She looks at you for a bit, takes another step forward towards you.
Helra, as Reina takes a step, almost on instinct, goes to reach towards her sword on her but then she pulls away. So she goes to reach for the sword when Reina steps forward, but then moves her hand back.
A defensive maneuver. Mhm.
Yeah, like a defensive thing.
After you did that, she says, "You can still run. You decided to join us. You don't have to be here. You can go. You're willing and free to go. It's up to you."
It isn't just about me anymore. You follow Lolth, or I assume you do. And the rest of the group are in danger because of you.
I don't think I'm the only one who is endangering them. And she steps forward towards like an inch away from your face. And she says, "You joined us."
Okay. Let me just check something. Because I want to know if I can do it. Ooh, I can. Okay, because Zone of Truth isn't concentration. I'm going to cast Detect Magic on Reyna.
Sure. You cast Detect Magic. You can use your action to see what's Detect Magic is a weird one because I read it after you guys started using it a bunch, and I was just like, wow, that's wording that I didn't think was actually how that was worded. Okay, so for the duration, you sense magic within 30 feet of you. You sense magic coming off of Reyna. You also sense the magic coming off of your own armor, so on and so forth. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. So you do sense magic coming off Reyna. However, her holy symbol is hidden from you under her clothes, and so you can't actually detect. You can't see the aura of it.
Yeah.
But you do sense magic coming from her. But that's pretty much all.
It does
that's what
say
you
the
got.
spell can penetrate most barriers, which I assume clothes are a barrier.
It's a lead barrier.
Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is you can definitely detect that it's there. You just can't.
Okay.
You can't like.
Yeah,
You can't do a vibe
yeah.
check on it.
Vibe check.
Reyna's also wearing a sheet of lead, beknownst to no one.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Just like a sheet of
Lead
lead
armor.
in her shirt. Just like the breastplate.
Yeah, no. You sense that there is magic that Reyna has on her. Actually, you sense two strong auras of magic. You sense one that appears to be in the. Oh God, you have so many. Where? So I have to ask Reyna. So Reyna, did you put the cloak pin in the haversack?
No,
and do you have the haversack with you? It is on your shirt. Okay.
Yeah. She's wearing the cloak pin almost near her heart, but like it's a weird position, close to where she would wear the Argent Spider. So it's like two symbols next to each other or near each other. And then she took off the Corellian one. And the Eldaf is in the haversack, and she doesn't have the haversack with her.
Right. Okay. And a bunch of the other stuff is also contained in the haversack right now. Okay. Yeah. So Hera, you are detecting two strong sources of magic. The brooch that is on Reyna's jacket, and another source of magic that you can't see that is hidden under her clothes.
Do I know what school of magic they are?
You can only do that on the brooch because that's the only one that's visible. So you can use an action to see the aura of it. When you look at the brooch and concentrate on it, you get a sense. It feels like necromancy. It kind of crackles a little around the edges. And you think that the brooch is definitely some sort of necromancy.
Okay. So yeah, well, Hilda's going to take a step back. And where does she sense the Argent's, the other aura? Well, I know what it is, but Hilda doesn't.
You sense that it is like around Reyna's neck, like under her clothes, around her neck.
Okay. Reyna, what are you wearing around your neck? Yeah, no, she's like straight to the point at this point now.
She just kind of looks down, looks back at you. An amulet?
May I see it?
She just keeps staring at you.
I want to be able to trust you, but I don't know if I can. All I know is right now, whatever you've got on your jacket is necromancy, and I just want to know what the amulet is.
Oh. And she just kind of pulls back her jacket and you see the cloak pin. This one, not mine, someone else's. I keep on to it. The other one, also mine, but also someone else.
Reyna gave you the answer I'm holding for a friend, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So you've shown me the pin, but still no amulet.
Why do you care so much? You don't have to trust me. You don't have to work with me. You can run away. You can be somewhere else. I don't force you to be with this group. Be with me.
No, but if it's what I think it is, I know more about love than you ever will.
Okay.
And all I have to tell you is, you've put everyone in danger.
I might.
And if anything should happen to them, most of the fault will fall on you. If not all.
She just kind of smiles and takes another step towards you.
Ella takes a step back as Raina steps forward.
Oh, come on.
No, it's like matching pace.
Oh.
Oh, shut up. You're ruining it.
Just kiss.
Different
Yeah,
campaign.
okay. Kiss with
Different
knuckles,
campaign.
That's fine. What Helra does is she goes into one of her pouches on the side and she pulls out a signet ring, which has a spider on it with the letter Z in Undercommon. And she hands it over to Raina.
Marina takes it from you and just kind of looks over it and then looks back at you.
House Zafrel, one of the noble houses of Menzoberranzan. In the Underdark, where we are ruled by Lolth. I escaped that hellhole. And I would not wish anyone to have anything to do with Lolth after what I experienced. And if you are, as I suspect you are, even though you're putting everyone else at risk, very much so, You're also selling your life over to love. She's cruel and manipulative. One could say you're being manipulative.
Well,
God damn it, Dave.
well, I was born into a noble family of Waterdeep. House Veron. Clerics to Corellian. And paladins to Waterdeep. My soul was sold the moment I was born. Bargaining a bit doesn't matter that much.
What are you really after here?
Take a guess. Seems like you know it.
I'm afraid I must be confused. Because why would you travel with a group you want to put in danger for your own expense? What is that important to you that you would risk everyone's life?
As you say this, Raina's taken aback a bit. You see this cold look on her face kind of change for a moment. And then she looks back at you and she takes another step forward towards you. I don't think you would know what's worth the risk if you left your home.
Not to interrupt this beautiful exchange that you two have going.
Good job, you
However,
two. It's dope.
yeah, amazing, wonderful exchange. However, if you allow me to exert a little influence here, Rena, how do you feel about turning and walking away at that moment to just end this conversation that is going nowhere for you?
She would have walked away, and she's about to be honest.
Okay. What's up, Dave?
I have a question. Seymour doesn't trust Helra, right? Can I make an
That's up to
insight?
you.
Can I make an insight check on the lion to see if it's keeping an eye on outside or keeping an eye on us?
Okay, let's finish this scene
Yeah.
here, and then I'll let you do whatever with the
purely
lion.
like that's literally all I want to do. I want to analyze the lion and see if it's actually
Anger about David.
like
Sure.
I'm thinking is are they doing it to protect us or is it protect themselves from us going to them? So that's the only reason why Seymour's going to look at the lion like that.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
The reason why it's defending.
All right. So Rand takes another step forward, says this to Hera. What occurs next?
Oh wait, I can't remember what Raina said now. I'm so sorry.
that's my fault. Sorry.
Thanks,
I
Dave.
believe Raina said
You wouldn't know
you
anything
wouldn't
about
understand.
it. Yeah, if you left your home.
I wouldn't understand if I left my home. You wouldn't understand why I left my home. Every day was a living nightmare. Forced to become a priestess of all things. Day in, day out. Nothing but cruelty and wanting to further the family name. I had to leave. It was the only hope I had of having a life back. So I'm sorry if you don't understand what it means to have freedom rather than what's forced upon you. And I pity you in that way. As you said, your soul was sold the day you were born, as was mine. Yet I escaped. I'm still trying to escape. Seems I can't get away from anything. And at this point, she turns to walk away.
Reyna lets you.
Inside the line.
Reyna lets you
Wait,
walk
hold on.
away and just.
1 minute, James.
Reyna, as you turn to walk away, Reyna just stands there and lets you walk away. And just kind of looks over her shoulder back at you. And just stands there for like 5 minutes.
All right. Seymour, go ahead and roll your insight check real quick.
17.
The lion actually legitimately seems to be patrolling the campsite. Whether
Okay.
that's for Hailra's sake or for the group's sake, you don't know. But it does seem to actually be doing its job.
Is that true, AJ?
Seymour, the lion
And-
isn't gonna kill us. Just go to bed.
And Hailra, the last thing that flashes through your mind as you walk away, leaving Reyna standing alone, you hear the voice of your mother pass through your head. And it says, "Get this in your head, girl, and learn this lesson well. There are spiders and there are flies. Be the spider when you can, because we are all flies in Lolth's web." And that is where we will take our break.
That's a sick line. That's a good line, Janks.
Yep,
Ooh,
that's
I
a
need
good
to
line.
write that
very
down.
nice.
GG on the RP, guys.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great.
Well done, everybody.
I need to pee.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Nice. All right, 10 minutes, and then we're back.
Okay.
All right, cool stuff.
Peace.
Yep.
You guys are out. You guys can say hello now.
Hello. Welcome back to the road to Elturel, where conversations are being had.
And Dave's
Uh,
dying.
I was dying. Sorry, DM. I apologize.
And Dave is slowly dying.
It's my own fault.
Just before the break, there was a conversation going on between Reyna and Hailra. Hailra asked Reyna point blank, "Do you follow Lolth?" And Reyna was like, "Maybe. I don't know. What's it to you?" And exchanges were had. A moment was had. Zones of truth were cast. And ultimately, I don't know. How do you guys feel walking? How do Reyna and Hailra feel walking away from that conversation? Do you feel like you've accomplished anything, or do you feel like you've pretty much like you just confirmed what you already know and you feel the same about each other?
Oh, Reyna is like, she hadn't, Jesus, words, my lord. She doesn't hold any grudges against Hailra since the moment she met Hailra. And right now it went from indifference about Hailra to a bit more hostile, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
What about
same. Hailra's Hailra's more like hostile towards Reyna. And so yeah, even though she did still have the distrust and little hostility, now it's just the hostility's gone up a level.
Sure. Okay.
She has had the suspicions confirmed.
Sure.
But now, like, even though it's confirmed, she still thinks that Reyna's a threat.
All right. I can work with that. What's up, Seymour?
So while they're having a conversation, Seymour's going to turn to Kaya and go, "Reyna's still walking on her own, but at least we've got a friend now. Still walking
What's
away.
that supposed to be?
We always walk on off, don't we?"
Oh yeah, they do. Do you think it's like a god thing? Are they meditating in the woods?
I don't walk off usually.
Yeah, but you also don't pray to a god, do you?
Not pray, no. Ritual, I guess. Sure, we're just getting on. It's fine. I
Great.
don't know, clerics do.
So, Hera, you pick up the rounds with your lion. You are going to be taking first watch as everyone else kind of takes their rest. And Raina, you make your way back to your little corner of the campsite. Yeah, what's
Rena
up,
is
Raina?
sleeping outside the dome. She's not sleeping.
Ah, excellent. In that case, this works out perfectly. Do you just kind of like chill out where you were? What's up, Kaya?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
muted.
Clarification on the dome. She did cast it when Reyna was inside the dome, so Reyna can go inside.
Yeah.
But she made sure that the lion was out of the dome, and she would have liked for Finibris to be out of the dome if Seymour's okay with that.
You'd be all right.
All right.
All right. So Raina, do you just settle down like where you had your conversation with Hera? Like after Hera leaves, you just decide to like chill out there?
No, she would have walked towards the dome a bit more and then tried to find a bit of patch of grass with a few rocks and just a place where she can basically sit, stand up, sit, lie down, basically, a bit in between. So not completely resting or anything, but more sitting than anything else.
Yeah. You, Raina is able to find a spot near the dome, but outside of it, kind of still covered by a sort of overhang of rock that you can have a lie down in. It actually catches your eye because of a little yellow hat that is curled up on the ground there. It appears that Arthur has escaped Hattie and has decided to also take a nap outside the dome, curled up into this little overpass. And it seems like a good place to take a nap.
She just
And it
smiles
yeah.
at seeing Arthur. From a bit of a sorrow face to more happy. And she just asks, mind if I join you?
He just kind of like shifts around a little. And whenever you like pick up the hat a little to see how he is, he's snoozing. He's out. He's curled up in a little stoat circle.
Sit next to him and just make sure that he's safe. And just watch him sleep.
As you watch him sleep, Raina, it occurs to you that following the conversation you just had, and honestly, how the entire like last few days have gone, you are very, very tired. And watching Arthur sleep, you see him kind of like shift in his sleep. You see a little snoot going, sniffing at the air. You see the little hands like scrabbling a little. And, you know, he's just dreaming his dreams. And you think about it, and it's been a very long time since you have actually slept. Elves don't actually need to sleep. You can meditate. But in that meditative state, you either just sort of sit alone with your thoughts, or you revisit old memories, or you never dream anything. And you try to remember the last time you had a dream. It actually wasn't that long ago. You were sailing across a glassy sea on a boat that made no sense after leaving a room that also made no sense with way too many decanters. It was very strange. But it felt like it could mean something. And you wonder if it's worth trying to dream again. Take a break from the whispers in the darkness, or the animals in the glade, or the memories that are either bittersweet or just bitter. It might be nice to dream.
She takes off her cloak and pulls it up as a blanket and also makes sure Arthur has a little bit over him.
He snuggles in.
And she looks up at the stars and just gazes for a bit. And she looks back at Arthur. And she lies down and tries to sleep instead of meditate.
As you drift off, you find yourself in that moment between sleeping and waking. And you feel yourself gently rocking from side to side. And at first it feels like a natural rhythm, and then it begins to tilt more and more from one side to the other until you open your eyes and strange green waves fill your vision. There's a sharp, clean scent in the air like camphor that catches your nose. And as you rise up to get your bearings, you see that you are afloat on a sea of trees in a boat of perfect crystal. And it twinkles in the starlight as Astera, the dawn chaser, smiles down from the heavens. What do you want to do, Raina?
She's looking around with this childlike wonder in her eyes. Just everything that's going on is just like, okay. Can she look around to see if there's anything more than just trees?
Roll me a perception check.
That's 25.
25. You look out in all directions and you see to the west, what you assume must be the west, there are rays of light just peeking up over the horizon. And for the rest of the space around you, you just see rolling waves of the tops of trees, some taller than your boat, just rolling on a gentle wind. And as you look up, you see a field of stars, and among them again is Astera, the Fae of Starlight, who chose to enter the heavens, to be with her sister, to chase her forever. She winks at you, and then she catches those fading rays of her sister Gloriana over the horizon and begins to chase her. As she runs across the sky, her cloak of night flutters wide, and eventually it looses from her shoulders and covers the sky in the darkest night. And then suddenly, against that black canvas, an arc of light appears. Perfect crescent shape. A familiar song begins to drift across the treetops, a lullaby that you know. Soul to soul, blood to blood, together this was done. What would you like to do, Raina?
She tries to remember where the rays of light came from. And she tries to steer the boat that way.
Sure.
See if she can continue the hunt as well.
Roll me a dexterity check to handle the boat.
Just a dexterity check? Okay. That's
If you have water vehicles somehow, then you
No.
can absolutely use water vehicles.
I don't. That's a mighty 3.
A mighty 3. You realize as you look around inside your boat, there are no oars. There is no mechanism of propulsion. It is simply carried on the waves of leaves. But you do see, and you didn't notice this before, but there is a pole with a lantern hanging on it. And as you look out past it, across the horizon, which is now darkened, you see 12 other points of light forming a circle of 13. And then the music begins to change.
That scared the shit out of me.
Sorry.
I was looking away from the screen when you made that noise.
Bad. Didn't mean to. So as your eye catches again that moonbow, that portentous arc of light, the music begins to roil and shift. And there is an entreaty to the music, which I hope got picked up on the microphone, but I don't know. An offer to dance, Raina. And you feel deep in your blood that nothing compels you to do so. And yet, there's something enticing in the tempo. It quickens its pace and it draws you forward. Do you choose to dance, Raina?
She does, yeah.
As you begin the steps of this dance, the music quickens faster and faster. And as it quickens, you begin to twirl in your little boat with what little room you have, stepping each step more forceful than the last. And the boat begins to crack. And then, as the final note is struck, the boat shatters. You fall backward through the canopy. You see one last time that moonbow strung above with no moon. And you know its meaning. Peril, danger, catastrophe. And then the sky is gone, and you are hurtling through branches toward the ground. As the branches whip past you, what do you do, Raina?
She blinks and she's very, it's like waking up for a moment for her. And then she tries to grab a branch, or tries desperately to grab for anything she can hold on to.
Roll me a, let's call this, what skill would you like to use?
Strength to hold on to.
Strength, okay. Yeah, let's call this a strength saving throw.
That's better. 22.
22.
21.
21. You reach out and you catch a branch. And in an instant, you are floating between earth and sky. And you see that the branch that you caught was not a branch, but a slender hand that holds yours, reaching from the trees. Moonbeams filter through the canopy, creating dappled shadows as your clothes billow around you. And a second hand slips from the foliage and presses something to your palm as you hear a soft voice again hum that lullaby. Blood to blood, soul to soul, together this was done. Only together can this be undone. Then the strong and slender hands, so much like your own, retreat into the forest, and you are left floating in the soft moonbeams. And then, after a moment of tranquility, you awake.
That's fucking awesome. That's so cool.
What do you do, Raina, after you wake up?
She doesn't jolt up. She just very frantically opens her eyes and just looks around and looks at the stars. If there's stars, Because I don't know what time of day it is.
You do see that there are stars. This time of year, the star that you are going to see in the sky is going to be a star that I'm going to
This time of
stall for a
year?
moment until I pull up the constellations that I
If you
made.
pulled that out of your ass, Janks, and nailed it, I'd have been so impressed. I was ready for
Oh,
you to
thank you.
I know exactly what star, exact time for that perfect question. Dear God.
Start at okay, that year, okay.
Let's see. So
So fucking good.
it is. What time of the year are we?
Good question. I don't know.
Anytime.
Okay. We are into. Oh, perfect. We are into Kythorn, the time of flowers, which means that the constellation that you see in the sky most prominently is Stradivarius, also known to the halflings as Yolanda's fiddle.
Actually, recall that it's very different than the time she went away.
Yeah, Astera is a constellation from the beginning of the year. Astera is most visible at the start of the year.
After waking up and looking up at the stars, she does jolt up and looks around to see if she sees the dome. Arthur, anything she's familiar with?
So the dome is there. Arthur appears to have skittered off somewhere while you were asleep. And on your finger, you see a sparkle of light. And as you look at your finger, you see that there is a silver ring. It has 3 gemstones placed around the outside edge. And facing you, a polished moonstone. In your inventory, Raina, you will find an object called the Ring of Stars.
Okay.
This particular object has a power, which Raina knows of. What this power is
Oh no, Kaya.
is that each of the 3 diamonds around the Ring of Stars represents a single charge that can be used once. These charges can be used when you or an ally within 120 feet would fail a saving throw. You can use your reaction to choose to let that saving throw succeed instead.
Huge.
Okay.
Nice.
3 times.
3 times.
Quay.
Huge.
She's still very confused about the starscape looking different. So she will stand up and walk towards the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Can she enter the dome at all?
Yeah, you can enter the dome. And inside, everyone is asleep. Does Raina go back to meditating?
She sighs a sigh of relief and then goes back outside and sits down and doesn't attempt to sleep, but attempts to meditate this time.
And your meditation goes as your meditation has gone in the past. Pictures of faded memories with a slowly encroaching web-like darkness around the edges. So, in the morning, everyone's up. Adam, Kai is here now. Everyone's awake, and it's time to head up to Trio. So, you guys make your way up the road.
Let's go.
Now, on the way, there is one person I want to check in with. One person who has been trying to manage animals, trying to keep a lookout, trying to do whatever, trying to keep that jacket clean, trying to look for new pet beetles. None of them are good enough. Hattie, how's it
Well,
going, Hattie?
Oh boy. Yeah.
What are you doing on the trip up to Triel today?
Hattie is going to be looking at her notes.
Okay.
I need to get my list. Give me a hot second because I prepared this and then I didn't like bring it with me. Give me 2 seconds.
Good job,
Perfect.
Becca, being patient though. Becca's been so patient. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Random scrap of paper
Snaps,
found.
Rebecca.
Okay. So she's going to go through. God, I'm going to get this wrong. Her notebook, which is hers specifically, the one that doesn't have the code names in.
Right.
So the
Okay.
ones that's just hers. And she's going to get, I don't know, quill and ink. I was going to say a pen, but that doesn't
You
seem
probably.
thematically correct.
Yeah.
And she's going to draw like squiggly lines between all of the Daggerford entries, the Misty Forest entry, the Everleaf Tavern entry, the Tradeway chunk, and kind of circles or like boxes round the story of the riders that she saw in the night. She's going to do the same with the Argument at the Crossroads, the Dragonspear Castle, the encampment, and the Troll Skull Ford. Am I saying that right? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Yeah. You're good.
Lonely Tower, Borska Bridge, and then somewhere Subar, Waterdeep, Scornabell, kind of block those out as well.
Yeah.
And she's going to. Do you remember what I started writing the self-written book on? Was it the?
So
That was
I don't think we had officially settled on what the subject was going to be. You had kind of decided that you wanted to write about Elturel or like the events around Elturel, but you hadn't like honed in on what specifically you wanted to really like hone the story in on.
Okay.
Would you like to work on your book? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but specific, like, I just wanted to like point out that she'd like made like chapters, and also that she writes Elturel, Hattie, and the Deathless Wanderer, and with like, I don't know, different color inks. I don't think she has that, but maybe she like draws like a separate like shape, like a star or a circle or a square or whatever, and she goes through and she marks specific chapters or books which would be relevant to those things.
Okay.
So it's all trying to connect it all together.
Like trying to keep things relevant to the different characters, like
no,
like this
topics rather, because like she has Elturel and then Hattie and then the
got you. Okay. Okay.
That's right. And she's going to. God, now I've got to make a decision. This was just reading notes. Oh gosh, my brain is not here. It left the building when I woke up this morning.
Mood.
Well, here's what I'll tell you, Hattie. If it helps with your decision, you can start working on individual stories for all of these topics. They're just going to be kept track of as individual roles whenever you try to use these books to get into Candlekeep.
Okay, that's fine. She's going to start working on the Elturel topic.
Okay.
So she's going to start with Daggerford.
Okay. So you're going to try to organize your notes on Daggerford and sort of create a cohesive, like, prologue, if you will,
Yeah.
to what the story is. Okay.
And also try and work out the ending as well. Just like the prologue and the ending of like she's gonna write down the prophecy in full as like a cliffhanger or something.
Okay. In that case, what I would like you to do for me, I would like you to make an intelligence check.
I don't have
and-
much of that to spare.
Well, what this is doing, right? So we talked through what content you're working on. So right now you're working on the Daggerford chapter. You have like an idea of what you want to write, the prophecy, like the story of how you found the prophecy, all that. So we know what the content is. Now it comes down to the gamifying part of it, which is you roll an intelligence check to see how you execute on writing all of that. And then we'll see how that increases or decreases the odds that this book will get you through the doors of Kentucky.
Yes. Okay. It's just a straight intelligence, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You got it, Hattie. You got this, Hattie.
I'd rather just like sit here.
Well, okay. Before you roll, do remember that there is an option here. If you can get a proofreader, you can gain advantage. But you can only use each person as a proofreader a number of times equal to their intelligence modifier.
Yeah. Okay. Hattie's just gonna go it alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
That shot.
That's that's a 7.
7? Okay.
It's first draft. It's
So
fine.
it's a rough start. It's a rough start, lads.
It's been a while
It's the first draft.
she's practiced her writing hand.
He keeps getting distracted by the freaking ferret.
It's like Beetlejuice. No.
Yeah.
That's not him.
You think it's Beetlejuice? It's just Arthur popping over your shoulder. No, you think that this is like an okay start. You think that it's one of those things where it's probably good to get like an outline down now, and then you can come back around to it with fresh eyes and sort of go over it again and sort of like flesh out the bits that you feel like you're missing.
I don't know how fresh Hattie's eyes get though, so this might be as fresh as they get.
Fair enough.
I've never used fresh as an adjective before, and I don't think I should ever use it as like in this context.
I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna let the audience know now. I will not tell you what percentage your book is at until you actually have to roll at the door of Candlekeep. So you just work on this book as much as you want until you think that it's good enough to get you through the door, and then that's gonna be that.
I love that.
So
Yeah,
you gotta roll in.
Hattie is so up for this because she's like, I want these people to meet my friends, therefore I'm gonna write the best book Candlekeep has seen ever. So they can meet my friend, and I don't want to say anything more than that because spoilers, but she's just so excited for them to turn up, so she's like on this.
I think that Hattie is off to an all right start.
Thank
She
you.
certainly has an idea of what the content is going to be. You're on your way.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Kaya kind of lean over Hattie's shoulder while she's doing this. Just gonna be like, "What are you doing?
Nothing.
Doesn't look like nothing."
You just, organizing notes. Candlekeep's very particular about notes, so I'm just going over everything and making sure it's Candlekeep worthy.
She's gonna sit down and kind of continue to look over Hattie's shoulder.
Yeah, you know what's really distracting?
Mm-hmm.
That there, right? What you're doing right there. What's in this ale?
Oh, that might have been mine actually.
Don't put water skins. It's rude.
This is stuff from Daggerford.
Yeah, you gotta start with the ABCs.
Sure.
Yep. Cool. All right. Love it. Got it. Write it. Do it. Sweet.
ABC's and it's Daggerford.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's before Elturel, so
That's fair. Yeah. Do you
so
go
it's technically in order.
As the fifth scroll of Ogma says, to begin one must begin, right?
Yeah, you know,
I
beginning.
disagree with that one.
Kaya's gonna kind of get up and kind of circle around so she's facing Hattie, and then sit back down, kind of look at Hattie. So, we haven't really had the chance to talk since, you sniped dying, we got separated, Seymour fell off a horse, a lot happened.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to be rude, but a lot's happening right now as well.
Right.
Right. Have
Hattie,
you
can I
seen
ask you
Beetlejuice? Go ahead.
Of course.
Sorry. I wanted to talk to you for a while already, but there just never seems to be a good time for it. Remember the Lonely Tower?
Sure.
That was like a while back, right?
Oh boy, don't have notes on that. I don't remember a Lonely Tower.
Really?
I remember it badly, however, my notes do not lie. Sometimes.
So I've been real curious about what happened at that door we were both at.
Still your water skin. Still your water skin.
Do you remember we were both at the door and you were
What a
supposed to
door.
tell the truth?
Wonderful door. I love a good door.
And I heard what you told the door and it didn't sound like you were lying, but then when I
Yeah,
reached the top, you weren't there.
I got lost.
You got lost.
It was a long staircase with many doors, and it was just a bit too complicated for my little brain.
Right. Hattie,
Hmm?
you put on a really good act, but
Thank
happen
you.
to
I
know-
have been working on it for years.
I happen to know that you are one of the most competent people I've ever met. And I also happen
How
to
many
know
people have you met?
a lot.
I'm concerned about their aptitude then.
I also happen to know that you're the type of person that if you really want something, you'll find a way to get it. So what I'm asking myself is, why exactly did you not want to be at the top of that tower?
Heights scare me. It's
Right.
just a really long way up, and there are birds.
Birds.
Yeah, I'm short for a reason. The gods were like, you know what, this person would not deal well with being any higher than like 5 foot, so we need to like put a cap on it, closer to the ground, feet stickier in reality.
That didn't seem to work for you, at least.
Yeah, the minute it came out of my mouth, I had questions.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of you talking in general.
Yeah.
But the point is, when I came back down, you didn't look that good. And so I wanted to ask what happened.
Well, it's the height. As I said before, I got, that height. Also, I think there was something weird in that stew. I think it was a mixture on like really, really highness, height. You need to put something less alcoholic in that water skin.
God, I missed Hattie. I missed this. I've just missed this kind of interaction. It's been a while. It's been such a while since we've had this, and I'm so glad it's back.
All right,
God,
Hattie.
don't get your hopes up.
This campaign.
Going for hours.
All right, Hattie. Well, if there was anything in that tower other than birds that might have scared you.
I don't like big, ominous voices either.
Me neither.
They're not really my jam or my peanut butter.
All right, Hattie.
Yes, Kaya.
Just if there's something that you're not telling us that you'd like to tell us.
I mean, I don't know who I am. That was generally the main issue in that, but...
You don't know who you are.
The thing is, because I'm on my phone, I can only see Naomi, but I can hear giggling in the back.
You're doing great. You're doing
Yeah,
great.
you're
I
doing
love all
great.
of this.
Keep,
This
keep
is all
going,
great.
keep going.
So you're not Hattie, the small halfling monk who likes to punch people a lot?
I mean, I might not be. I might be like a 6 foot, which might be an issue with the height thing. Mine are tall with like violence fear of the violence.
Is that what the Lonely Tower told you?
Yeah. They were like,
Right.
yo, what up? You're not you. Have a cookie.
They gave you a cookie.
A stew.
You know,
You're
Yeah.
not you. Have a stew.
Listen, I don't know what happened in that tower, and
neither
the
do
more
I
you
have
explain it,
full memory.
the more you explain it, the more confused I'm getting, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. But fuck that tower. If it told you you don't know who you are, what sort of answer is that to anything ever?
I don't think it was like a metaphorical thing. I don't think it was like, oh, you think you're so cool and you're not really cool. Like that dude from the orphanage, like everyone called him like in Bracken. People
Thanks.
called him
Immediately go for his
Bracken,
pen.
and his actual name was Dave. And like
Mhm.
he just pretended to be like this incredible. I don't even know. He was just really weird. Like who calls himself Bracken? I'm definitely not calling out someone I went to uni with.
Definitely not calling out someone in this call. Also
No,
by the
I'm
name
not
of Dave.
actually. It's specifically a guy that used to call himself Bracken. Anyway, you know, he was just a lot, and like I don't think it was in the way that like Bracken needed to be told like you're not who you think you are. I think it was just like, who are you? And I was like, oh boy, what a question. And they were like, dope, here's a door, and I was like, oh cool, I love a good door. And I walked through it, and then there was stew. Like the food type, not the person Stew. I did once know a guy called Stew. He was a
All
bit
right.
of a yes.
Hattie.
Yeah.
As much as I love your ramblings,
You're right. I have things I'm meant to be doing, and
Actually
you're very
listless?
distracting.
I am. I just let me finish, and then I'll leave you alone. All right. Oh God,
Sure.
did I freeze? Okay.
There you go.
Let me finish. Hattie, whatever's going on with you about names or who you are or whatever, let me just the most important lesson I ever learned was that I'm the only one who can, right? It doesn't matter what sort of past you had, what sort of names you had in the past. If you want to call yourself Brecken, you can call yourself Brecken.
It's an awful name.
Sure. But my point is, you choose who you are. And it doesn't matter who you used to be because you are whoever you choose to be right now. That's all.
Really? Because the most important lesson I was told was like, if you're gonna break the law, at least only break one law at a time.
That's a dumb rule.
No, I
I've
mean
broken
like
several
no,
laws at
like,
one time.
consider it. Like if you've killed someone, you're not gonna like go like at super
Steal his
speed
stuff?
with your yeah, like just like break one law at a time.
What's the
So,
point
like,
of killing someone if you're not going to steal his stuff?
This gets into a long conversation that happens the rest of the way to Trio.
Wow.
And you guys arrive in Triel by evening. The
let's
city,
go.
the town is quiet. You don't see Bethel out in her garden. You don't hear the sounds of the teenage bartender
Oh, hello.
calling out for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the town, for the time being at least, is at peace. So what do you guys do? Are you headed straight for cities sundries, or
We're gonna find the people who are gonna help us. It's the only reason we're here.
Yeah, you see, as you come in, you see Basil is in a horse field like out to the side, just grazing.
Oh my god, for
You're
that he's
not
alive.
dead.
Alive.
Thank
the
God, he
first
lost
the
50 gold
horse.
pieces.
As we're
Oh,
walking
you're
in,
back! Your horse came running back into town. It was the strangest thing. Yeah, you guys find a place to park the cart behind the inn. You were able to unload your bags of herbs. And Seymour and Kaya, you can guide the group around the building to knock on the door of City Sundries
as,
and Notions.
as we're walking towards it, I will look at Snipe for a bit and say, "Do you want me to hold on to it?"
Hold on to what exactly?
The thing you showed me last night.
I kind of take it out the Polaroid and hand it to Raina and say, "We might need it."
If you survive, and I hope to God you will, you need to explain what this is, because I'm extremely curious.
I'll let that be the thing that drives me to want to live.
There's no if here. Snipe's gonna live. We got
It's
this all
all,
figured out.
it's all a bit dramatic, you know?
Yeah, you know,
Ah.
it kind of is.
I mean, yeah, I technically might die and it might not work. I might be
You're
gone.
not
for
gonna
good.
die. Well, you will die, but you're not gonna stay dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
do I get to kill you still?
The door opens, and City stands in the entrance of her shop. Ah, I see that you have made it back in one piece. That is good. Who is it that you have brought for me to help?
Fish Snipe. They're cool.
Snipe. A pleasure to meet you. And this half-elven lady dressed in beautiful, very practical researcher's clothes reaches out and shakes your hand. Snipe, a pleasure. I hear that you are in the market for... Well, I do not know how else to say it. A new life.
You heard correct.
Yes. Well, do you have the herbs that we needed for this?
Raina puts her
hopefully.
haversack on the ground and starts pulling out the other hearse. It's also the haversack.
Yeah,
Ah.
I think Hera would bring the big bags that were in the cart
Okay.
that couldn't fit in the haversack.
No.
Yes, if you can just put them in the corner over there, that will work. And you see that City has cleared out the floor for shop. So whenever you guys were in here before, there were like tables with books and things on them. She appears to have pushed most of that off to the side. There's a very large, almost like an operating table, kind of situated in the middle back of the shop. And there's sort of a copper tub off to one side. And she directs you to put the herbs in up against the sides. Yes, I already have the oil heated in the tub, so we will just need to add the herbs as the process goes. Right. There are too many people in my workshop right now. Who is going to be staying and who is going to be waiting outside?
I'm gonna
We're doing
give
this.
one killing Snipe, right?
I don't think so, Hattie. But are we doing this right now? Like right now? I'm kind of like right now. There's no like prep or anything. It's just go time.
I mean,
Would you prefer that we wait a day?
I think
No,
it's
it's fine. It's just yeah. Why don't we? Can we talk as a group before we do this?
I have to make
I
sure that the
suppose
oil
that-
is heated, so have at. I will begin
Thanks.
the process.
I was going to say mostly for everyone, but on the journey into Triel,
Mhm.
Hera would still be doing the odd glance over to Raina, but she'd purposely keep her distance from Raina.
Okay. All right.
And then when everyone, so you know when Siddy asked who stays and who like goes for the thingy,
Mm-hmm.
Hera would speak up and say, "I don't think Raina should be the one with Snipe."
Okay, thank you. Input from the peanut gallery, but before we decide any of that, I feel like we should have a talk, all of us.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yes, go about your business. Do not do it in my shop, though. Stay outside.
Right,
And she'll push you out the door as she begins to work.
I quite like her.
Okay, so yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Fine.
she's all right. Anyways, so let's talk about this. So, Snipe, I feel like it would be unfair to not put all of the options on the table here. City told us if we do this, there's a very likely chance that your demon would be completely free from you, at least. No more connection. We probably can't summon them anymore. They're gone. They're wild. We don't know what happens next. Now, I don't know if I brought this all the way through with the sending. There is another option, but it is dangerous and unpredictable, and that is that we summon the demon before we cast the ritual. But if we do this, and I don't know how, or if we need other materials, or if we have to wait another day, but if we do this, there's a chance that the demon could escape, or there's a chance that if we bind it to something, you will be bound with it. Which doesn't mean you die, but it means you're trapped. And I don't know what that entails. This isn't my area of expertise at all, but I wanted to put all of those options in front of you because this is your life, and I didn't want to take that away from you.
Damn it! You should tell me that in advance.
I thought we had more time.
So we can't do both, or at least we can't attempt to at the same time?
We can do both, I think, but we would have to do them one after the other. And there's a chance that if we do the demon summoning, binding ritual, there won't be any of you to bring back. You'll be trapped with it.
But at least you'd have it. Or
yes, I think.
At least it'd be out of Artax's hands. I don't know, it's... Either way, this is highly dangerous.
Yeah, what's new?
I think both options sound fun.
I think if we don't collect your demon now, we have to go into the abyss to find them.
Well, if we do...
Jake's shaking his head.
I was laughing at Dave. Dave was like, sorry, I'm ruining. Go on.
That's fine. Well, we still have the deal with Artaxis to go and deal with Yanogu. That still means there is a window of opportunity.
Wait, what deal with Artaxis?
Oh yeah, there was a thing.
I feel like the whole thing in the woods, I feel like somehow he had something to do with it to make us do it. But there's some kind of thing to do with Yanogu's cult there in the Reaching Woods. We're supposed to deal with it so that Baphomet, who currently has the other half of me, will listen to Artaxis to give that other half of me to him.
And how is that good for us? Isn't Artaxis the guy you warned us about wanting your soul? Do we want him to have your soul?
He was the one who admitted there is a window of opportunity for us to act, for us to get the upper hand.
Artaxis is initially the one who bought the soul.
Okay, wait. I need to know. Are we trying to fuck over Artaxis or are we working with Artaxis?
Yes.
We said yes to the deal. We don't know if we're gonna act out yes or not.
However,
well-
he basically predicted that we would. And he was like, "Ooh, this is a fun game. We can like see who fucks each other over the best."
We still have that window though.
I don't like him.
All
I don't
we
either.
have two options, right? With this whole Artaxis wrench thrown in the mix. We work with Artaxis and maybe get your soul back, but maybe he fucks us over. Or we risk trapping you, Snipe, but we fuck over Artaxis by getting the demon back now. Right? Did I get that right? Did I miss anything? She kind of looks at Seymour. Any other pieces to the puzzle you'd like to add?
I'm curious if Baphomet has a hold of Snipe's demon right now and is trapped in the endless maze. If it's impossible to summon that half and only trap Snipe's mortal.
That sounds like a worst case scenario possibility, but I feel if we can't trap, I don't know how any of this works. We might have to ask City.
City appears at the door. So, are we having second thoughts, or?
Yeah, sure. Just, I don't know who you are, but can you give us like a hot second? Snipe, have you considered this? You were thrown into this place, into our world, and the demony thing, which may or may not be an integral part of who you are, was ripped from you because someone else made a deal overriding your, consent and individual thingy thing, of which the word I cannot think of now. But have you considered that you are the victim of this situation and therefore are not responsible for anything that your demon does henceforth? Boy, that was a lot of big words.
It's nothing to do with whether... I don't think the other half of me should be in the hands of someone who wants to abuse those abilities to get the universe in his hands.
A fair point. However, there are more people in this universe than just us. So consider this. It's not your responsibility, and shit happens.
Either way, Snipe, it's a decision that only you can make.
However, I think my opinion is seriously superior. What is in this water skin? Kaya, can you keep switching these over?
Patty.
No, but I think you're starting to purposefully grab for mine at this point, and Kaya will take her water skin away from Hattie, take a swig of it, and say, "Yep, that's fine."
Hey, that was yours.
Seema's gonna chime in. As weird as this sounds, I agree with Hattie.
Yeah. Wait.
And as weird as it sounds, I agree with Raina.
So Snipe, it's up to you.
That window of opportunity is still on the table. So either way I can do both. But if I was going to take the revenge on that arsehole by getting that other half of me back, I would rather do it in a body that's not going to die in the next few days.
Yeah.
That's fair. However, might I suggest that this isn't just an exercise in pushing away your problems, because at some point, even though both options are on the table, you will find yourself at the table with potentially many beings trying to kill you, and then you need to make a decision. So, like Elephant always says, it might be okay to put the cotton candy in your ears now, but boy, give it a week. And that's not going to be fun. What the fuck am I saying? Don't write that down, Jack.
Snipe, I think.
Put cotton candy in your ears? Sorry, this is important, Snipe.
Snipe, I think either way, if you decide to fuck over our taxes now or later, it's important to get you a new body. And I think the opportunity to fuck over our taxes with before you get the new body or after, I think the chances are even.
You know what? I think I've been in this body for a little bit over 2 centuries. think it's time for something new.
All right.
Ooh.
I'll do it. Reincarnation, and then see what works first of all, and then see where we stand.
Yay! Can I kill you?
Hattie,
I have no idea.
I don't think that's how it works.
They're too young
No.
for you, Hattie, to abuse.
I like the energy of that one, but I would prefer that she stay outside while we try this procedure. It is delicate, and I
don't
do
like
not need
the
her
energy.
stabbing the person we are trying to reincarnate, yes?
I don't like your energy either. I think you should stand outside.
Okay.
City,
Snipe.
is there a there's delicate magic involved, right? You have to do a lot of work for it.
Yes, it is a long process.
I would love to help.
I would love to have you help.
I think I might be able to assist a little bit. Jags, for logistic reasons, would a bardic inspiration help in a situation like this? Is there a
Bardic
check
inspiration? A bardic inspiration will help
involved?
because
Okay,
of the
then
way
Kaya
that
will
this
be there.
reincarnation is going to
Would
happen.
would Eldritch Blast help?
Eldritch Blast would not.
Jesus.
Okay, that's fine.
But appreciate the effort.
See what
Elvis-
Elvis even tries.
I was going to speak up and say, maybe not Raina.
Seymour stares at Helra.
I look at Hella and say, "This is my situation. I choose Raina to come with me."
Oh. All right, that's all fair. I do have to say, that's the second time you've said that. Is there some beef between you two, like God stuff that we have to worry about, or can you not? Or right? Is anyone else wondering about this, or is this just me?
No, I'm worried, but it's their decision whether they tell us or
We're
not.
here for Snipe, not for that person. Raina, you're coming in with us. I'm coming in. Naomi. I'm
Okay.
reading your name.
3 people. I can have 3 people
3?
in my shop.
Oh,
I hear Snipe. I hear Reina is offering. Yes, you are Reina. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Reina is offering. Kaya is offering. Seymour, believe me, I would love to have you. I have seen you work. You do good work.
can I have a book to read?
Roll me a D8.
A D8. 5.
Give me the book back.
Is it going to be the same book? From Draconic to Elvish this time instead of Elvish to Draconic. Ah, shit.
See if I can find wherever that list of books is. She is going to reach out and she'll hand you a book as she pushes you out the door. What'd you roll? Sorry.
6.
6. Oh. You get the book of you.
Of me?
Yeah. On the surface, a self-help book with incredibly specific insights.
It's telling you something, Steve.
You just let me know when you want to read that, and I'll let you know what it does.
From a story point of
He
view,
burns it.
I hate the fact that that's perfect for Seymour right now. Like, I hate that. He will look at it, laugh, and then he's just going to find a spot.
Excellent.
Perfect
Okay.
book. What the hell?
So City is not interested in the politics of whatever's going on right now. It's just going to shuffle 3 people into her thing because she's got a thing that that she agreed to do, and by God, she's going to do it. So Snipe, how we proceed here? And she shuts the door. She shuts the door behind her, leaving Hattie and Seymour and Hera out and about. So how this is going to work? I have prepared this, and she hands you a glass bottle, and she says, "This is a sleeping draught. I have, let us say, increased the amount of belladonna recommended for a sleeping draught. So you will lay on the table." And you will go to sleep, and I will monitor your situation. And when I am sure that you have left the mortal coil, we will dump your body into the copper bin. It is less impressive whenever I say it like that, but trust me, there is a lot of hand waving and mumbling, and I don't really feel like you need to look at all these celestial scrolls in order to understand what's going on. The important thing is, do not panic whenever you wake up underwater in oil.
I'll try not to.
All right. I never tried this on someone who wasn't from our world. This is exciting. All right, so when was she ever had the opportunity to do this? All right. So let us see here. All right. So if Snipe, you just want to lay on this table,
Okay.
I would ask if you're comfortable. That will not matter too much longer. So, c'est la vie. Reina, if you could, what would you say is your what are you best at? Are you proficient with medicines? Are you proficient? What would you say your skill set is?
I think my best way is to help with medicine. Indeed, yeah. That's. I'm not the best at it, but I've learned in my time at the clergy.
In that case, I would like you to stand here at the table with me while we monitor Snipe.
I might have a spell that could help, but I don't know if it might hinder the entire reincarnation.
What were you thinking?
I have gentle repose. It's called. It basically makes sure that Snipe can't turn on dead.
That is very wise of you, but I have laced my shop with sigils along the baseboard there, so I do not fear him turning undead. However, if this is a situation of if it looks as though they need assistance, I may ask you to render assistance. Yes, I will be concentrating on the spell. It will take me an hour to cast. I must focus on it. Mm-hmm. So if it looks like something is going wrong, I will call on you and Kaya to assist me in this, yes?
Yes.
Right. Kaya, let us have you on the other side of the table, between the table and the tub, so you can help us move Snipe when the time comes. And at this point, Arthur, who snuck in, that little sneak, will climb up on the table and will just lay down on top of Snipe. And City says, "Oh, well, you are a long way from home, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, we'll have you here too. Are you ready, Snipe?"
I guess so.
Right. Take your drink, and we will do the rest.
Snipe takes the sleeping drug, and Kaya kind of say, "Snipe, while you're falling asleep, why don't you tell us what's the one thing you miss the most about your world?"
And Rita will put her hands on your hands.
I miss her.
Who?
I'm the only one who's ever forgiven me for all the terrible shit I've done. And before Snipe takes the sleeping thing, they decide to just sit and I'm not going to sing because I can't sing, but they do hum a little tune of what they say to Morwen when they've been badly injured or done something terrible, when they're asking for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically goes, "Darling, please forgive me. I was sitting with my friends. I was slowly going out of my head. I didn't hear a word you said. I was enjoying myself, sleeping in the riverbed." and then they just take a drink and then just lie down. Or passing Arthur as they go.
Mm-hmm. Snipe, as you close your eyes and the world fades away, you feel yourself surrounded by a warm, sunny feeling. And in a moment, the darkness clears. And you are standing in a hollow. You hear a song before you. A song to call down the rain. And you know that just over the hill, Morwen is waiting. What would you like to do?
Probably head towards where they know Morwen is. And if there is any river that's running by, they go into the river, whether it's like high tide or low tide, and they walk through it against the current.
Okay. As you make your way toward the river, toward where you know Morwen is, before you can crest the hill, you feel a tug. And you're sort of jerked back. And as you turn around, you see 3 inky tendrils reaching out to the other side of the hollow, where there is just darkness and the art gallery. And standing in the art gallery is a figure. Looks an awful lot like you, but with red eyes and hooves and horns and bandages that float like water around them, except that the ends peel off into little globules of ink that float about them. And you hear a voice emanate from it that says, "Hello there, Penny. We're an awful long way from the Lake District now, ain't we? Good to see you again." And that is where we will end.
That's some sick shit.
Damn.
Good shit, guys.
Nice.
Good shit.
Hell yeah.
Wow, what a
Finally, we
session.
fucking made it.
We did it! Yay!
Yay!
Halfway through it.
Reincarnation in progress.
To be
We'll just have to
continued.
see what happens in the in-between space.
Bum, bum, bum,
Uh,
bum, bum.
I also just have to say, well, I'll wait until after the exit. But thank you all for joining us for another session of the Road to Elturel. Join us next week as we continue into the reincarnation of Snipe and the people that they see in the in-between place and what they have to do to get their new body. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm very excited for it.
Oh shit.
So join us next Saturday. Tune in tomorrow, Sunday, for the Crimson Petal, which is a really cool thing that Dave runs. It's really fun and really cool, and I like hearing about it on the podcast, which runs on Wednesdays. I think, therefore, I roll. It's really great. It's really cool. Check it out. And until the next time, have a good night, everybody, and adventure on.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're out.